Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Excuse me. Introduce myself. My name is Hafiz Abu Ridho. I come from the Industrial Engineering Study Program at Sumbawa University of Technology. I am here to present the result of the midterm exam for cognitive ergonomic course. Next, definition of cognitive ergonomic. Ergonomic is the science that talk about design for human. In simple terms, this term can be interpreted as an effort to adapt the work environment to the need of user or human. Then, cognitive is how a person solves a problem seen from the way a person behaves, acts sooner or later. And for the notion of cognitive ergonomic itself is defined as a science that utilizes information about the nature, abilities, and limitation of human from a cognitive perspective to get the best work system. Next, the importance of studying cognitive ergonomic. The importance of studying cognitive ergonomic because it relates to human mentality, including perception, memory, and reaction. And cognitive ergonomic also has topic in it, namely workload, decision making, performance, human interaction with digital, work, stress, and training. And the benefit for studying cognitive ergonomic is to improve physical and mental well-being by preventing work-related injuries and illnesses, reducing physical and mental workload, and seeking promotion and job satisfaction. And then for the benefit is to improve social welfare through improving the quality of social contact, managing and coordinating appropriately, and increasing social security during the productive age period and after being productive. Next, to create a rational balance between various aspects such as economic, technical, anthropological, and cultural aspects of each work system carried out so as to create a high quality of work and quality of life. Next, human information processing. Human information processing is a process of how humans receive, organize, integrate information. The human information processing model begins with a sensational process of physical stimuli coming from the environment. These physical stimuli generates neural activity, which may or may not be processed further. The next process is cognitive. This process includes perception and decision making, which is assisted by the process of storing information. The visual process is a combination of a top-down process in which the stimulus is felt by our senses, and a bottom-up process in which long-term memory helps give meaning to the stimulus obtained. The end of the human information processing process is the of executing the selected decision. The effectiveness of the process is limited by attention resource, which indicate the capacity of various mental process that can be carried out simultaneously. Finally, the response that is the choose and carried out by human will product input or feedback, which together with stimuli from the environment are felt again by the senses and are useful in determining whether the goals of the activities carried out have been achieved. An example of something like we want to change the oil motor vehicle. Before replace it, what should we do first? What tools and material are needed? After the tools and material are there, what steps should be taken next? Here we are told to remember the process for changing the oil in a motor vehicle from start to finish. And the 5 sensory reminder work for all of them. When the 5 sense of hearing have successfully remembered it, the output process is that we practice how to change the motor vehicle oil. Next, attention. Attention is the conscious processing of small amount of information from the large amount of information available. Information is obtained from sensing, memory, and other cognitive processes. An example and its impact is age. The older a person is, the possibility of organ anatomic and functional decline increases. The weight of the brain will decrease by about 10% between the age of 30 until 70 years, and the meanings or brain learning will taken. The 5 senses also experience functional degeneration. Therefore, cognitive function, including attention, will decline with age. Next, any perception. Perception is the act of compiling, recognizing, and interpreting sensory information to provide an overview and understanding of the environment. Perception includes all the signals in the nervous system, which are the result of physical or chemical stimulation of the sense organ. Example and their impact explain that perception is more psychological than just a sensing processing. So there are several influencing factors. The first of factors are selective attention. In human left at any time will receive a lot of stimulation from the environment, even though a person doesn't have to face all the stimuli he receives. For, the, for that, the individual must focus his attention on certain stimuli. Next, of factor are exciting features, stimuli that move among the silent stimuli will attract more attention, as well as the large among the small stimuli. The contrasting background and the strongest intensity of the stimulus will attract attention. Next of factor are individual value and need. Everyone has different pattern and tasks in observing something. In one study, it was shown that children from low economic group saw coin bigger than children from high economic group. And last of factor are past experience. Previous experience that individual have greatly influenced how a person perceives something. And next, memory. All about memory. First, definition memory. Memory is the ability to store, present, control, and as a deviation accurate knowledge to be recalled. Then, memory is a mental state that allows a person to store information to be recalled at a later date. Next, working memory. Working memory is part of the short-term memory component, which is important in the process of cognition because in it the process of entering, storing, caring for, and combining the information needed to complete daily tasks occurs. The short-term memory is that it has a very small capacity, but has a very large role in the memory process, which is the place where we process stimuli that come from our environment. Short-term memory functions as a transitory storage that can store very limited information and transform and use the information in producing a response or stimulus. Next, the difference between short-term memory and long-term memory. That is in each time frame, where long-term memory is a place for storing information with a permanent period, and many things can last for such a long time. Meanwhile, short-term memory is the opposite of long-term memory, where the memory period is quite short. However, the role of short-term memory is very large in the process memory. Next, example of the application of memory, like SOP in working on an operational machine in a factory, where we have to recall the steps or is OP to run the operational machine in order to avoid for accident. And the loss of memory impact when a person's memory is disturbed. Memory impairment is a condition in which the brain has difficulty storing, controlling, and recalling memories. Memory impairment can get worse. For example, causing Alzheimer's disease. Some memory problem, as well as a slight decline in thinking ability, are fairly common part of aging. However, there is a difference between normal memory change and the type of memory loss associated with Alzheimer's disease and other disorders such as depression, confusion, forgetting to put things in ATZ. Thank you very much for sharing my presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.